In this video, I'm going to show you how to beat the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC from start to finish and the order of the bosses that you should tackle them in. Now first things first, to start the DLC, you will have to have beaten Radahn as well as Mohg in the base game and then make your way to the Cocoon of the Empyrean in Mohgwyn Palace. Once you make your way here and you have purchased the DLC, you'll see Lida is here for you to speak to, and you'll also be able to interact with Miquella's Hand to travel to the Realm of Shadow. I will not be spoiling any of the boss fights throughout this fight. I'm just going to be showing you how to get everywhere and navigate through this DLC. There's also plenty of side and optional content that you can do that is not required to reach the end game, and I'm not going to be doing that in this video, so I do encourage you to explore as you use this video guide as a reference of where to go to progress the game further. The first thing you're going to want to do is pick up the map fragment for this first area so that you can reveal the location. This is so that you can see on the map where we're going. You're then going to make your way to the 3-path cross Site of Grace right over here on your map. And at this location, you'll find the very first Miquella's Cross, at least if it's the first thing you're uncovering in this game. Now these can be found throughout the game and generally have an item nearby called the Scadutree Fragment. This is the only way to increase your strength within this DLC, and it is a massive increase. You can collect these throughout the entire world, and I encourage you to collect as many of them as you can. But once you rest at a Site of Grace, and you use the Shadow Realm Blessing option, you can use these Scadutree Fragments to empower the blessing. This only affects your stats within the DLC Shadow Realm. Now if I head to the status, you can see here, my stats on the right hand side have all gone up. And the more of these blessings that you have, the more you are strengthened to take on harder content in this. While we're here at the Site of Grace, we're also going to want to speak to Freyja. This is going to be for a quest line to get a certain NPC to help you with the last 2 bosses as a summon. Because the last boss can either be fought alone, or if you do 2 special quests, you'll be able to get 2 summons to help you with the last 2 bosses, and it's highly recommended because those fights are incredibly difficult. So go ahead and speak to Freyja here. Now from this Site of Grace, we're going to head to the west following the road that leads like this, and you're going to make your way to this next Site of Grace over here called the Main Gate Cross. But the main reason we're here is to speak with Sir Ansbach, who is going to be the summon that can help us at the very end of the game. You're going to want to make sure you go ahead and speak to him until his dialogue repeats itself. Now just to let you know, I'll only be doing 2 quest lines during this video. I recommend you do the other quest lines before you burn the tree, but I will give you a warning before everything gets cancelled out in the game, because there is a cutoff point where everything stops working. Now from this point, you might think it's logical to go ahead and go through this area here and defeat the boss hidden in this arena here, but it is not actually necessary to beating the game. However, when you do beat this boss, you will end up going through a pathway that reveals the giant, like, tree-covered, thorned building thing that is covered in shadow, and it's obscured, and you cannot go in here. This is only removed once you burn the tree, much like you did with the Great Erdtree in the base game. But it is not required to even progress this area at all. So instead, we're going to head to the first boss location. So from the 3-path cross location, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cross this great bridge, and we're going to head into this Castle Ennis location over here to fight the first boss. I'm going to go ahead and start from this location here and guide you through. So beginning from the castle front Site of Grace, you can go ahead and follow along with me. From the Castle Ennis checkpoint Site of Grace, you can go ahead and follow along with me. From the Castle Lord's Chamber Site of Grace, you can go ahead and head up the stairs to the northwest. And you'll see this will bring you before the first boss, the first main story boss of the game. I wish you guys good luck, and I'll see you right after. From the Enz's Moon Grazing Ground Site of Grace, after defeating the boss, you can exit to the north. And now we're just going to go ahead and collect the map fragment that is located over here to reveal the map. From the Site of Grace, you're going to want to go ahead and progress all the way to the north up this road towards the Shadow Keep. Once you get near the Shadow Keep, a barrier somewhere is going to break. So as I go ahead and go close enough here, you'll see a sound and a text prompt happening soon. There you go. Somewhere a great rune has broken, and so too has a powerful charm. This is going to be for the other quest line to get another summon to help you for the boss fight at the end of the game. And now we're going to go ahead and proceed into the Shadow Keep, and I'm going to show you how to start one of the quest lines that you need to get going. From the Shadow Keep main gate Site of Grace, we're going to go ahead and progress into this main chamber over here. We're going to collect this Site of Grace. This is the main gate plaza Site of Grace, and then we're going to head northwest, and you can follow along. From the Storehouse first floor Site of Grace, we're going to go ahead and make our way this way, so follow along with me. We're going to go into this little room over here where we'll find Sir Ansbach has been moved to. And here you're going to go ahead and you're going to speak to him. You want to go through his dialogue until he says the same thing on repeat before moving on. Now back again from the Storehouse first floor Site of Grace, I'm going to lead you to the 4th floor Site of Grace. So go ahead and follow along with me. From the Storehouse 4th floor Site of Grace, you can go ahead and follow me to the next one. Is also where we'll be finding Freyja for a continuation of the quest. But first, you'll see the staircase along before the pathway continues. We're going to go down the staircase over here and into this room because there's an item that Ansbach is going to want, and we're going to give it to him after we find Freyja. So let's go ahead and collect this item first. This is the secret Rite scroll. And then you can keep following me along the path. Right at the top of the stairs, you're going to go southwest to the next Site of Grace, and you'll see Freyja up ahead of you. If she isn't here, you can just rest at the side of the Grace and she should just appear. When you speak to her, she's going to tell you that she is busy and that she should have asked Ansbach to impart his knowledge on her. So this means we have to head back to Ansbach, who is going to be at the Storehouse first floor. So from the Storehouse first floor Site of Grace, you can go ahead and follow me to Ansbach yet again. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to speak to him. This time you should have two options. You should have the hand over the secret Rite scroll. You'll have to keep talking to him until you get the option to tell him about Freyja's decision. He should then give you a letter for Freyja that we're going to go ahead and deliver to her. Quite simply, open up your map and we're going to teleport to the Storehouse 7th floor Site of Grace. And you'll be able to find Freyja here, who you can go ahead and give the letter to. Pass on the letter for Freyja. Keep speaking to her until you get the item that she gives you, the Golden Lion Shield, and make sure you exhaust all of her dialogue. You'll see that Ansbach is no longer at this location, and this means that you've done this correctly. You should also see that Freyja will disappear after you visited the empty spot of Ansbach's location, so neither of them should be in the Shadow Keep anymore. This means you've done it correctly, and you should see Ansbach at the end of the game as a summon for the last two bosses. For the second NPC summon for the end of the game, we're going to go ahead and make our way to the Pillar Path Cross Site of Grace. To access here, you just have to go back to the Castle Front Site of Grace, and if you go ahead and you follow this road just like this, it's super simple. You just follow it along here as it veers off until you get to this location here. You can put markers over here. It's very easy to get to. Once you are here, you'll find Thiollier, who is the NPC who will be helping you. Essentially, he's going to tell you about his unstoppable gaze against Saint Trina, which means we need to find Saint Trina. And to do this, we need to head to the very southern point of the map. So I'm going to show you how to get there. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start from the castle front side of Grace. And essentially you're going to follow me along this pathway like this. But don't worry, I'm going to let you follow me as we go through this entire pathway down to the Cerulean coast site of Grace. So let me run it through with you at castle front. So all you have to do is follow along with me as we go ahead and we proceed down the road to the east. You're going to go ahead and follow the poison to the north and go into this valley here to the northwest. You can jump down here and immediately you'll see there's a cave on your left, and we're going to proceed through here. This is going to be the Alec River Cave site of Grace, and you can keep following me as we proceed further on. This is going to be the Alec River downstream site of Grace, and you can keep following me to the south. From here, you're going to head to the south. You should see a fire giant enemy in the distance. We're actually going to be heading towards the southwest exit just behind him on the right. Do try not to engage him in combat because he'll burn you. Here you'll get to the Cerulean coast site of Grace. This is going to look like this on the map for you, but don't worry, we're going to uncover the map fragment soon. We're just going to go across the valley to the south. Go ahead and follow me for that. And this is where you can pick up the map fragment to unlock the southern shore. So now that you can see where we are. There is a site of Grace just around the corner. Keep heading south and a little bit to the east. You'll see Michaelis Cross in the distance. Now you're going to make your way to the very southern point of the map over here. So make your way to this location. You'll see there is a huge hole in the ground, and you can actually progress here from this corner down here towards the southwest as you take the stepping stones all the way to the bottom. This will bring you down to the site of Grace at the bottom called the Fissure. And now you're going to progress to the east. Now, if you do for some reason have a big yellow wall blocking this pathway, this means you haven't been to the Shadow Keep yet, because this wall that's blocking there disappears once you pass this threshold. The one that we had that charm break earlier in the video, that's the charm that broke. So if you have this charm, make sure you go to this location to remove it so that you can progress through here, and then you can just follow along with me. This will bring us to the Stone Coffin Fissure, and you can go ahead and follow along with me as we proceed further. Don't worry about this edge over here. When you fall over here, even when these rocks are gone, you won't die and you won't take fall damage. From the Fissure Cross site of Grace, you can go ahead and follow me. From the Fissure Waypoint site of Grace, you can go ahead and follow me to the northeast. From this site of Grace, you can follow me towards the northeast. From the Fissure Depths side of Grace, you're just going to head towards the southwest, and you're going to go into a boss fight. You will just have to jump down from here, and I'll see you guys right at the end of the fight. Good luck, and I'll see you later. So as soon as you've beat that fight, you will get the Site of Grace called the Garden of Deep Purple. You're going to be coming back here a couple times. Now what you need to do is go down to the west over here. You will find Saint Trina, and do not drink her nectar just yet. This is a warning, don't drink it just yet. So walk up to Saint Trina over here. You'll talk with her, and you'll basically just say leave. You essentially just want to have that interaction with her so that you now know her whereabouts. And now you can go ahead and open up the map, and we're going to head back to where Thiollier was at the Pillar Path Cross Site of Grace. So make your way back here. Now you can go ahead and speak to Thiollier. Now, depending on your game progress, he's either going to have an option for you to tell him about Saint Trina's whereabouts, or he's going to have figured it out from another quest, somebody called Moore. You'll see here to the shore, Sir Moore mentioned to him. Either way, make sure that he doesn't have the option to tell him about Saint Trina's whereabouts, and if he does, obviously tell him about the whereabouts. At this point, you should be able to fast travel back to the Deep Purple Side of Grace, right over here. And you'll see when we get here, Thiollier will be on the floor just in front of her. So right here. You're going to wait for him to finish speaking, and then we're going to speak to him. He's essentially going to tell you that this poison is only for him and you're not allowed to have any. Keep speaking to him until he repeats the same stuff over and over and over again. Once he keeps repeating dialogue, you're going to go to Saint Trina and you're going to imbibe and drink the nectar. So right here, you're going to do this. And when you do this, you're going to fall over and die. Now you have to do this until she speaks to you. So this is going to take 4 times. So you have to die to her, drink the nectar 4 times. Here's the second time, here's the third time, and here's the 4th time. Now when you die, the screen should instead go black instead of reloading to the Site of Grace, and you should see that Saint Trina is going to start speaking to you. Make Miquella stop. Once she does this, you have died enough times to Saint Trina. Then when you spawn back in, you're going to run to Thiollier, and you're going to go ahead and speak to him, and you're going to pass on Saint Trina's words. He's going to be upset with you, and you're going to try to pass on Saint Trina's words again. Keep talking to him until he says, I'll never forgive you. I'll never forgive you. Once he's angry, go ahead and get some more words for Saint Trina. So go ahead and drink the nectar again. Saint Trina will then again speak to you and give you some new words. And you'll see once you try to head back to her, you'll be blocked off from the entrance and you will have to do a little bit of a fight. After this fight, you will get Saint Trina's smile. And then you're going to go to Saint Trina and you're going to drink her nectar until you get a very specific line of text from her. So go ahead and drink the nectar, and you should see that she will start saying, you must kill Miquella, grant him forgiveness. Once she says these 2 things to you, you are pretty much sorted. You just have to speak to Thiollier. So run back into the cave and go ahead and speak to Thiollier after you have respawned. Keep talking to him until you get the option to pass on Saint Trina's words. After you've told him the words, you're going to go ahead and rest at a Site of Grace, and then go to him once more. When you speak to him, you should see he just goes, If he's saying this, this means you've done it correctly, and he will now appear as a summon for the last 2 bosses in your playthrough. So you've done this quest line. Congratulations. Before we continue, I'm going to show you how to uncover the rest of the map. So starting with this top left area, I'm going to show you how to uncover it by getting to this location over here where the map fragment is. Now to get here, you actually have to start here from the High Road Cross Site of Grace, and we're going to head towards the east until you get to this water area over here. So this water area right here, we're going to head north and follow along a pathway to get to this location right here. So from my location here, go ahead and follow me. This is the Ancient Ruins base, Site of Grace. And you can keep following me towards the southwest. And you should find the map fragment right over here, which is going to reveal the top left of the map for you. Now to unlock the middle right section of the map to get to this map fragment location right over here, we have to progress through the Shadow Keep through a secret back entrance. So I'm going to lead you through this entire pathway from the main gate plaza. So go ahead and follow me. In this room there is a painting and there is a wall on the right here that you can break to reveal a pathway. Down this water stream you'll find a coffin that you can go ahead and rest in. This will bring you out at a new section of the map at the bottom, to a site of grace called Castle Watering Hole. From here we're going to travel to the south. So go ahead and follow along with me. Be careful, the big fire giant will do a fire thing. You're going to have to move out the way. Once you head south enough here, you'll see there's another site of grace that you can collect. You'll make your way to another site of grace. This is where the site of grace is located. And if we go ahead and we mount up, we're going to head southeast and we're going to take the little outjuttings of the stone from the cliff and we're going to make our way towards the bottom. You're then going to continue heading south and go down these things again. And then if you head southeast, you'll see on the left side of the waterfall, there are some more stones that we can take down to the bottom. And then facing towards the southeast, you're going to stick to the wall on the left and you'll see there is a doorway over here that you can take. This is going to be located right over here on the map. It's going to be the Darklight Catacombs. You're just going to progress through this dungeon until you get to the other end and you'll come out at the end, I guess. Progress till you find the boss fight, and as soon as the boss fight's over, I'll see you. After the boss fight, you'll exit and you'll get a site of grace. You'll see this is the Forsaken Graveyard. Now from this location, you're just going to head south and you're going to follow along with me. Don't bother mounting up because your mount is going to just die instantly. Once you get down to the Abyssal Woods, you'll see a site of grace ahead to the south. If you do want to go challenge a boss, there is one to the west. Good luck with that. We're going to go to the east. This is the Woodland Trail site of grace, and we're just going to follow the road to the southeast to get to the map fragment. You can go ahead and follow along. And you should see the tablet here with the map fragment on it right there. And this is going to give you the map fragment for this area of the map, and you will have uncovered everything by now. Now that you've explored a good enough time, you should be able to take on Messmer the Impaler now. So we're going to head back to the Shadow Keep, starting from the Storehouse 7th floor site of grace. You can go ahead and follow along me as we exit here to the northeast. Go across this little bridge. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump over this railing down to the bottom here. And if we keep heading southeast, you should see that there is a lever that we can pull just up ahead right over here. This is going to go ahead and rotate the contraption in the middle of the room to allow us to cross the pathway right over there. Here's the pathway, and now you just have to go ahead and follow along with me. You'll then be able to open up this door, go up the stairs, and you'll see there is a site of grace here between another door. That is where you'll find the next boss. I'll see you guys right after, and good luck. After this fight, you will get Messmer's Kindling, which is going to be used to burn the Scadutree, which allows us access to the last boss. Now we're going to go ahead and progress to the top left area of the map, and to do this we're going to go to the Storehouse 1st floor site of grace. From here we're going to go towards the north, and we're going to take this hallway, the turn in the left over here, and you can see there is a lift here that you've probably seen before. We're going to go ahead and take this. So follow along with me as we get to the bottom of the lift. This will bring you to the west rampart, Site of Grace. From this Site of Grace, the Viaduct Minor Tower, I'm going to go ahead and guide you the pathway to follow to get to the next Site of Grace. When you get to the big door in front of you, you're turning to the left. We're going to go ahead and jump down here. You are going to take fall damage, but you're going to go ahead and you're going to face southeast to go through this hole in the wall at the bottom. When you get out this room, you're going to turn to the right, and then you're going to turn to the right again, and you'll drop down this hole over here. And then you'll head northwest and keep heading northwest. When it gets to a dead end, you're going to turn to the left, and you're just going to follow the water, and then left again. From the Rauh Ancient Ruins East Site of Grace, you're going to go ahead and follow me. We're going to head to the west, and we're going to take this bridge across. You're going to jump off at the far right side, like here. Be careful the fire giant doing his fire thing towards you. He's going to shoot it off in a second, and then you just move to the side. Now, once you get up the stairs here, you're going to face towards the south, and you need to go past the giant up the hill behind him. So just keep heading south. From the Rauh Ancient Ruins West Site of Grace, you're going to go ahead and follow me as we go southwest through into this like tunnel thing. Once you get up all the stairs, you're going to go to the left. Left through here, and you're going to follow this pathway to the right, and you'll see there will be a lift just ahead of you. Once you exit the lift, you're going to head north. You'll see there is another tunnel entrance up ahead. You're going to go through here. When you get in here, you're going to turn to the left. You're going to go up the stairs immediately. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to turn to the left. And you're going to go out here and you'll find the Site of Grace up ahead. This is the Church of the Bud main entrance Site of Grace, and you'll see we have a yellow wall up ahead for our main story boss. Good luck, have fun, and I'll see you right after. As soon as you've done the fight, you will unlock the Site of Grace for the Church of the Bud, and you'll see the tree that you can burn up ahead is the one that is going to remove all the shadow around the main castle. But I must warn you though, the moment you burn this tree with Messmer's kindling, you are going to end most quest lines, pretty much almost all of them that haven't progressed far enough to access the lost game. So if you want to keep doing quests and you don't plan on like playing the game again, make sure you rather finish your quest, then burn the tree. Otherwise, make a duplicate save file of this point so that you can continue other stuff and find other stuff without locking you out of content and having to play the game again to get to this point and like, you know, go do all the quests that you missed. Because there will be stuff that you have missed. As a reminder, everything in this video is only to get to the last boss. It does not include everything that you can do in the game. There are tons of optional bosses. Once you understand that and you are ready, you can go ahead and walk up to the tree and examine it and burn the sealing tree. You will then be teleported to a new area where you can collect the Site of Grace. This is going to be right over here. You won't be able to fast travel, but if you do want to fast travel, you just have to rest. Once you've rested at a Site of Grace, you will see your fast travels are unlocked again. Now from the Site of Grace, you can go ahead and follow me to the next one. From the first Rise Site of Grace, you can go ahead and go southwest down the stairs here, and we're going to go up the stairs outside. Go through this door over here, and you'll see there is a Site of Grace to rest at. From the Spiral Rise Site of Grace, you can go ahead and follow me. We're going up the stairs here. From the Cleansing Chamber Site of Grace, we're going to go ahead and head east, and we're going to go into the second last boss fight. Now, before the second boss fight, you will see that you have 2 summons because of the 2 quests that we did earlier. Right over here, we have Ansbach as well as Thiollier. So I recommend summoning them for your fight. You'll also be able to summon them again for the final boss fight, which I'll show you in a bit, but I'm not going to reveal who you're fighting. So go ahead and do this battle, and I'll see you right after. After you defeat them, you can continue going through the rest of the room, and then you'll end up here, and you can just follow along with me. This is going to lead to a lift. And at the top of this lift, you'll be able to speak to Ansbach, who will be standing here. You can also speak to him a little bit more. Then you can head up the stairs until the next Site of Grace. This location is the Divine Gate Front Staircase Site of Grace, and if we go up here to the final boss gate over here, you should see, if you did those 2 quests, well, you would know earlier from the 2 summons, but you can summon both Thriollier, who will help you in this battle, as well as Ansbach, who is on the opposite side. You should have both of these summoning signs here. And that's everything you need to know on how to beat the DLC. All you gotta do is go fight the last boss. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.